The Red Wine Lake is a Greek story. Once upon a time, in a beautiful mountain village in Greece, there was a young woman named Anastasia. Anastasia was known as the daughter of the best winemaker in town, and the wines she made were well loved by all. However, the wine he made had a mysterious power that was different from ordinary wine. The villagers said that drinking the wine made by Anastasia calmed their minds and allowed them to spend a happy time like a dream. But Anastasia had only one secret. The water he used to make wine came from a lake called Red Wine Lake, on a nearby mountain. The lake was quietly located deep in the forest, and it was said that only once a year did the gods pour red wine into it. According to legend, this red wine was considered sacred, with the power of the gods, and it was believed that the water of the lake would turn into wine just as it was. But few people came close to this lake. This is because the lake is enchanted with powerful magic, and if a curious person gets too close, they will be attracted to the magical power of the lake. One year, a major drought hit Anastasia's village, causing the water source to dry up. Villagers could not get food or water, and their livelihoods became difficult. Anastasia decided to use the water from that Red Wine Lake to help villagers in need. If the power of the gods really dwells in you, you should be able to save the village with this water. Thinking so, Anastasia obtained the forgiveness of the village elder and headed to the lake. After crossing the steep mountain road, Anastasia finally arrived at the Red Wine Lake. As the name suggests, the lake was filled with red, wine-like water. Overwhelmed by its beauty and sacredness, Anastasia prayed silently on the shore of the lake for a while. Then the surface of the lake trembled slightly, and a ray of light enveloped it. Suddenly, I heard a voice from inside the lake. "Little girl, why did you visit my lake?" Anastasia was surprised but responded to the lake. "My village is in trouble. Please let me use the power of this lake. I want to save the villagers with my wine." Then another voice resounded from the lake. "The waters of this lake contain great power, but if you abuse that power, you will pay the price." Anastasia thought for a moment and replied firmly, "I don't mean to abuse. I just want to use it properly to save the village." The voice of the lake was silent for a while, but finally answered, "Then I will acknowledge your sincere heart. Draw water from this lake and bring it back to the village. However, with that power, I wish happiness to the villagers, and I must never abuse my power." Anastasia was deeply grateful and carefully pumped the lake water into a jar. The lake fell silent again, and Anastasia returned to the village with her water. Upon returning to the village, Anastasia immediately prepared wine, and used her red water to prepare wine. As soon as the villagers drank the wine, they immediately regained their energy, and the dry land began to moisten little by little. The village's crops also grew rapidly, and over time, the village became fertile land again. Anastasia's wine brought hope and prosperity to the villagers, and it remained loved long after that. However, he never used the water of the Red Wine Lake again. This is because he revered his magical powers and swore in his heart not to use them in vain. And even today, the wine made by Anastasia continues to be passed down as a special symbol of the happiness of the village, even after many years. That's all.